As you descend from the Valley of the Four Winds, the rolling hills gradually give way to a lush jungle that covers most of the inland region. Everywhere you turn, you'll find thick trees adorned with vines, and the landscape is dotted with moss-covered ruins and meandering rivers. To the north, the Cliffs of Despair mark the border of the wilds, while the south boasts sparkling beaches and waters dotted with islands. In the heart of Krasarang, the jungle takes on a new name, the Deep Wild. On the western side lies the Forbidden Jungle, known for its heightened danger compared to the Deep Wild. The close proximity to the treacherous Dreadwaste in the west adds an extra layer of peril to traveling through this part of the jungle. As you venture into this dense jungle, you'll immediately feel the weight of the air, heavy with humidity. In the era when the mighty Mogu ruled over ancient Pandaria, this vibrant rainforest stood as a boundary to their notorious empire. Within its depths, the Sarok rebels found solace and waged a relentless battle against their former masters, determined to wipe out these reptilian creatures once and for all. Despite countless years of struggle, the Mogu's attempts were in vain, and Emperor Dojan II met his demise at the hands of Sarok assassins, plunging the empire into chaos. Meanwhile, the Sarok vanished into the untamed wilderness, making this region their permanent dwelling. Once upon a time, this very place thrived as a sprawling Mogu port, bustling with activity and grandeur. After the Great Sundering, Lu Lang, an intrepid explorer, braved the mist left behind by the sacrifice of Pandaria's last emperor, Xiaohao. Despite ridicule for his itch to travel, he embarked on the giant turtle named Shenzhen Zhu from Turtle Beach. Upon his return, he shattered the belief of a destroyed world, gaining followers with each journey. When he ceased his travels, a statue was erected in his honor on the beach. Today, the wilds remain perilous, with Sarok ambushers, wildlife, and the encroaching Shah posing a grave danger to any who dare to venture through this enchanting yet hazardous land. While the Temple of the Red Crane is known as the heart of Chi-Ji's power, the Cradle of Chi-Ji serves as his final resting place. Monks from the Crane Wing Order embark on their initiation journey here, believing that even as Chi-Ji roams Pandaria spreading hope, a part of him always remains on the island, in its sands and trees, silently observing and testing the monks. The Angahal Pavilion, Pedestal of Hope, and Dome Belrisra are key landmarks on the island, where monks engage in rigorous training and friendly combat to hone their skills. During Lei Shen's brutal conquest of Pandaria, he and his Mogu legions managed to subdue the 4 August Celestials. In a display of dominance and cruelty, Chi-Ji was shackled in chains and paraded before the discouraged Pandaren slaves, a symbol of their subjugation and hopelessness. However, legend holds that after the Pandaren Revolution and their hard-won freedom, Chi-Ji marked the skies with a radiant rainbow. This brilliant arc of color served as a lasting reminder to the Pandaren that they need not fear the storms any longer, symbolizing hope and resilience in the face of adversity. During Xiaohao's epic journey across Pandaria, there came a moment where the Emperor found himself trapped in a treacherous marsh, sinking deeper and losing hope. It was then that Chi-Ji soared gracefully above him. With wings outstretched and a heart full of compassion, Chi-Ji inspired Xiaohao to rekindle his hope. The newfound hope gave Xiaohao the strength and resolve he needed to lift himself from the mire and continue his quest to save Pandaria. Shortly before the emergence of the Shah, Anduin Rin trained with Chi-Ji for a brief period. Thanks to the combined efforts of Anduin and the champions of both the Horde and the Alliance, Chi-Ji and the Temple of the Red Crane were liberated from the corrupting influence of the Shah of Despair. Together with the other 3 August Celestials, Chi-Ji opened the gates to the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, marking a significant victory for the forces of good. Chi-Ji also aids adventurers atop the Pedestal of Hope in a crucial battle against Elia Ravenmane, who, having forsaken Chi-Ji's teachings, has fallen under the sway of the Shah. After the fight, Chi-Ji expresses gratitude to the adventurer, acknowledging their embodiment of the Way of the Crane. Additionally, Chi-Ji grants his power to an adventurer preparing to confront Xiaojin the Bloodletter, ensuring that hope and righteousness prevail in the face of darkness. At a pivotal moment, new members of the Golden Lotus were about to be chosen, Chi-Ji appeared in the Shrine of Two Moons and revealed to Dezco that one of his children would become a defender of the valley. Unwilling to part with his kids, Dezco decided to leave the valley. During their escape, Redhorn was abducted by the Shao Tian Mogu. Dezco rushed off in a desperate attempt to save him. Despite Mokimo the Strong's plea to leave Cloudhoof behind for safety, Dezco brought the infant along. Amid the chaos of battle, tragedy struck. Cloudhoof was crushed, losing his life, and his brother Redhorn got poisoned as well. Desperate to save his child, Dezco lowered Redhorn into a pool, where Chi-Ji miraculously appeared and healed him. However, Chi-Ji departed before Dezco could call for help for Cloudhoof, leaving Dezco to face the aftermath alone. Grief-stricken, Dezco built a funeral pyre, sending Cloudhoof to join Ansha, which is the sun god in the afterlife. The revered Temple of the Red Crane, ancestral home of Chi-Ji, the celestial embodiment of hope, stands as a beacon against the encroaching despair that plagues the murky Krasarang wilds. From its ornate walls, Chi-Ji soars forth, battling the spread of darkness. However, with the recent arrival of Horde occupation forces, the sanctuary has been transformed into a fortified stronghold, with the Crane's loyal followers held hostage. Alliance leaders, including Varian Rin, find themselves at an impasse, divided on how to claim the temple without incurring heavy casualties. To expel the Horde from this hallowed ground and protect Alliance lives, you must craft a strategic plan to lure them out and eliminate them with meticulously placed traps. Chi-Ji observed King Rin closely, as if evaluating him in a crucial test. Chi-Ji pondered, will the wolf act as a warrior or a king? By the end of the conflict, Chi-Ji appears pleased with Varian's performance, but hinted at future challenges, suggesting that more trials awaited the king. Found on the Timeless Isle, the trial of Chi-Ji is a profound test of hope. Faced with uncertainty about his people's future, Emperor Xiaohao sought the wisdom of the Red Crane. Chi-Ji challenged Xiaohao to discover the hope within himself and dispel his doubts. Upon vanquishing the Shah of Doubt, the Emperor transformed into a beacon of hope for his people. To pass the trial of the Crane, warriors must embrace hope, even in the darkest times, and let it guide them through their trials. Chi-Ji, along with the other Celestials, decided to hold a trial involving members of both the Alliance and Horde instead of passing judgment on Garrosh Hellscream themselves. In a gesture of respect to the assembled races, Chi-Ji assumed the form of a Blood Elf during the proceedings. The Anglers, a group of skilled fishermen who established and maintain it, take great pride in their long history at this location, the Anglers' Wharf, dating back 8 centuries before the First War. The sturdy bamboo houses on stilts that form the wharf are designed to withstand the whims of the sea and be reconstructed as needed. Lu Lang initially considered seeking a boat at Anglers' Wharf to depart Pandaria for exploration, but the Anglers cautioned him that no vessel could navigate back through the mist to return to Pandaria. If he wished to return, he would have to discover an alternative route. After the Dragon Isles stirred from their slumber, Caitlin the Blade's freshly crafted vessel, Shirvala's Laughter, found itself moored at the docks for some much-needed repairs. The ship had endured considerable damage during its treacherous journey across the sea. Caitlin wasted no time in reaching out to Chen Stormstout and Lili Stormstout, informing them of her predicament. To her delight, they promptly extended an invitation for her to explore their entire homeland. The Stormstouts believed that by introducing someone new to Pandaria, they themselves would gain a fresh perspective on their cherished land. After enduring constant attacks from both Mogu and Sarok, Dawnchaser Retreat, the second torn outpost in Krasarang Wilds, met a tragic fate. Located in the southwest part of the wilds, between the Temple of the Red Crane and the ruins of Korja, the camp eventually succumbed to the relentless assault and was ultimately abandoned and reduced to ashes by the Sarok. Fast forward to the awakening of the Dragon Isles, roughly 40 years after the Dark Portal's opening, and we find Chen and Lili Stormstout along with Caitlin the Blade exploring the remnants of what once was Dawnchaser Retreat. The landscape remained barren, devoid of trees and grass, but amidst the desolation, Caitlin's keen eye caught a glimmer of hope. She spotted a patch of grass and 2 delicate shoots emerging from the earth, hinting at the possibility of new life taking root. Lili, ever the optimist, remarked that given time, even the deepest wounds can heal. the Night Elves stumbled upon ancient information regarding the pools of youth predating Queen Ajara's reign, leading Lord Keeper Veldrin to seek High Priestess Tyrande Whisperwind's approval for an expedition to the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. Despite their efforts, the Vale was heavily guarded by the Mogu Magisters of Emperor Dojan II, who had set up magical traps in the dungeons of Dojani and Krasarang Wilds to deter any direct attacks. When the expedition's mage attempted to open a portal, they were redirected to one of these traps, where the prisoner's life force was drained to keep the trap active. Fortunately, Veldrin managed to reach out to a passing Alliance adventurer in the vicinity, who swiftly came to their aid and demolished the nearby traps, liberating them from their predicament. After the Dragon Isles awoke, Chen and Lili Stormstout, along with Caitlin the Blade, ventured into the Incursion near Turtle Beach. Lili immediately likened it to a sparkling purple bubble in the distance, but reassured everyone that all Alliance troops had been saved. They also observed that the portal to Darnassus had been fixed, granting the Night Elves easy access to Pandaria for aid, instead of having to take a lengthy journey by sea. Beneath the unassuming veil of Sea Spittle Nook, a minuscule cave nestled in the far reaches of Krasarang Cove's northern expanse, lies a secret of profound historical significance: the mysterious ruins of Ogudei. Forgotten by time and obscured from the prying eyes of the world above, these ancient remnants were brought to light through the relentless pursuit of Mogu relics by two opposing factions: the illustrious Explorers League and the Cunning Reliquary. As their fervent excavation efforts penetrated the earth, unwittingly delving deeper into the mysteries of the past, they uncovered not merely artifacts, but a dormant darkness. When the arrival of Alliance and Horde forces drawn to Krasarang's shores by the promise of conquest and resources, the delicate equilibrium of the cavernous depths was disrupted. The clash of steel and magic awakened specters long confined to the shadows, ghosts of Mogu and Pandaran alike, stirring from their slumber with vengeance burning in their spectral eyes. In the wake of chaos, a somber realization dawned upon the explorers and miners alike. Their pursuit of knowledge had unwittingly disrupted forces best left undisturbed. 40 years after the Dark Portal opened, a tentative peace settled over the ruins of Ogudei, the ghosts pacified and the minds abandoned. Yet a silent warning echoes through the corridors of time, cautioning against the folly of trespassing upon realms haunted by the sins of the past. After the Dragon Isles came alive, the Stormstouts and Caitlin the Blade embarked on a journey to explore the remnants of Ogudei following the Incursion. To their relief, they discovered that the majority of the restless spirits had finally found peace, and the mining activities had come to a halt. Lili expressed her wish that these tranquil surroundings would remain undisturbed. Meanwhile, Caitlin delved into the tunnels, hoping to stumble upon some forgotten treasures that didn't require extensive excavation. Much to her delight, she just stumbled upon fragments of depleted crystal shards, which seemed to have once been a part of a Mogu spirit trap. Located on the southeastern coast of the Krasarang Wilds is Bilgewater Beach. It has been commandeered by the Bilgewater Goblins of the Horde. Amidst the picturesque setting, an industrious oil rig pumps crude oil into a nearby refinery, a testament to the Goblins' relentless pursuit of resources. Adding a touch of culinary flair, the Goblins have established a beachside restaurant known as the Boiling Crustacean. Renowned for its stunning buffet of expertly spiced seafood, this eatery is considered a true gem and a must-visit destination for anyone traveling to Bilgewater Beach. The Field of Korja. Sprawling near the ruins of Korja in western Krasarang Wilds is a place steeped in history and strife. Here, the Koyan Mogu relentlessly excavate ancient relics, forcing Alliance and Horde slaves to toil under their watchful eyes. This vast field is a stark reminder of the Mogu's enduring quest for power and the ongoing struggle within the wilds. An ancient set of Mogu ruins named the Ruins of Korja have almost been reclaimed by nature. Nestled in southwestern Krasarang Wilds, they lie between Dawnchaser Retreat and Sentinel Base Camp. Here, the Koryan Mogu force Alliance and Horde slaves to dig their ancient relics, much like at their nearby field of Korja to the northeast. According to the Dungeons of Dojan, these ruins once served as a bustling port city where teleportation magics were commonplace. Within these overgrown remnants, Groundbreaker Bojai holds the Horde member Kor Bloodtusk and Alliance member Lyalia captive, adding to the site's dark history. The ruins, once a thriving city, are believed to be the site of the notorious Dojani dungeons. constructed by the ruthless Emperor Dojon II during his genocidal campaign against the Sarok. Overseeing his grim handiwork from a cliff in the Valley of the Four Winds, Emperor Dojon II met his end when the Sarok scaled the heights and hurled him to his death. In the wake of his demise, the city swiftly fell into disrepair. These ancient ruins now stand as silent sentinels over the nearby pools of youth. These mystical pools, used by the Mogu to prolong their lives, possess a dark enchantment. Drinking from them steals one life to extend another. After the awakening of the Dragon Isles, the Stormstouts and Caitlyn the Blade made their way to the ruins of Dojon, following their stop at the Sentinel base camp. As they surveyed the desolate remains, Lili remarked that the ruins harbored dark memories for Krasarang, suggesting it was a blessing that the nearby pools had largely faded from collective memory. The Southern Isles is a collection of tiny land masses in the southwestern Krasarang wilds. They lie west of the Cradle of Chi-Ji. Many of the isles are so diminutive that calling them islands might be an overstatement, which explains why they are often grouped together as one entity. When the Horde's invasion fleet arrived on Pandaria, they established their base in this archipelago, constructing a formidable stronghold named Domination Point. This fortress, teeming with soldiers and cannons, stands as a testament to the Horde's presence and strategic ambition in the region. East of the main southern isle lies an intriguing unnamed island teeming with a unique population of frogs. This island is home to 3 distinct species found nowhere else: the Krasarang croaker, the Krasarang frog, and the Krasarang tide skirter. These frogs predominantly inhabit the southern and eastern parts of the island, where they lend an air of enchantment to the area. The island is dotted with several signs, each adorned with images of frogs. However, it's the frogs' fascinating behaviors that truly captivate visitors. Each species boasts not only unique appearance, but also distinctive behaviors that set them apart. The Krasarang croakers, the largest of the trio, stand out with their striking red bodies and blue limbs. Typically found in pairs, these frogs face each other a few yards apart, engaging in a mesmerizing ritual. Every few seconds, their hands glow green as if casting a spell, accompanied by a sound effect reminiscent of a Hearthstone cast. This magical display lasts for about 2 seconds, culminating in the frogs leaping into the air, croaking loudly and flicking out their tongues. The spell appears to complete at this point, marked by a sound effect and the end of the green glow around their hands. After a brief second leap, they pause momentarily before beginning the spell again. While most croakers engage in this paired ritual, a few solitary ones can be seen hopping freely around the island, devoid of the enchanting spellcasting behavior of their paired counterparts. The Krasarang frogs, smaller and yellow, are always found in groups of 4. Most groups remain stationary, occasionally jumping and flicking out their tongues, forming rough circles or diamonds facing inward. Each set of these frogs typically surrounds a pair of Krasarang croakers. However, some groups are mobile, traveling around the island in erratic patterns, including leaping from high places, adding to the island's dynamic and vibrant ecosystem. The frogs on this island are incredibly prolific, boasting a rapid respawn rate. This abundance might tempt players to slaughter them in a way to earn the achievement Critter Kill Squad. However, these frogs are not entirely defenseless. Killing a significant number of frogs triggers the appearance of Croakan, a large elite frog NPC. He emerges in the center of the island, beneath the largest tree, showcasing a variety of colorations. Enraged by the senseless slaughter of his fellow amphibians, Croakan swiftly deals with players using his instant death frog justice ability. To make matters worse for would-be frog hunters, Croakan is immune to all attacks, ensuring that the island's amphibian residents are not so easily vanquished. An Alliance warship named Valors Edge played a crucial role in Operation Shieldwall during the Pandaria campaign. Alongside 2 other battleships, including the Defiant and the Skyfire gunship, Valors Edge participated in the bombardment and assault on the Horde's Domination Point in Krasarang Wilds. Under the command of Captain Mulkey, Valor's Edge and its fleet relentlessly pressured the Horde dominance offensive throughout the battle, undeterred by the threat of nearby mines. Recognizing the ship's strategic importance, Horde forces targeted Captain Mulkey in a bid to undermine the Alliance's leadership and weaken their efforts in the region. During the invasion of the Shah, which had infested the temple from its basement, many members of the Crane Wing Order were forced to flee. Those who escaped established the Crane Wing Refuge, a temporary camp north across the river, where they regrouped and kept their hopes alive. In this sanctuary, they sought the aid of adventurers to help cleanse their sacred temple. The temple was eventually purified by Prince Anduin Wrynn and heroic adventurers who successfully banished the Shah. However, the peace was short-lived. With the arrival of Horde occupation forces, the temple became a fortified stronghold, and the remaining Crane Wing members were imprisoned. King Varian Wrynn led the Alliance forces in a bold mission to expel the Horde and liberate the sacred site, restoring it to its former glory. After the awakening of the Isles, Chen and Lili Stormstout, along with Caitlin the Blade, made their way to the temple, having picked up Caitlin from Angler's Wharf where her boat was under repair. The monks of the Crane Wing Order warmly welcomed them, offering a simple dinner of rice, fish, and vegetables. Caitlin was taken aback by the palpable joy that filled the temple. Chi-Ji, the embodiment of hope, had used his power to combat the Shah of Despair until its defeat. One of the monks, Quona Quilpaw, explained that while joy and levity are not synonymous with hope, they are both causes and effects of it. They represent reaching for light in the darkness and act as a form of defiance against despair. Quona then recounted the temple's history, describing the hardships they had endured. He emphasized that in memory of those grim times, they now strive to live even more fully and joyously. Thunder Cleft is a Tauren encampment situated along the Dojani River in eastern Krasarang Wilds. Established by the Dawnchaser tribe, it is led by Sunwalker Desco. The tribe paddled upstream by canoe until they were halted by the cliffs of Wind's Edge, compelling them to set up camp. The strategic location of Thunder Cleft offers a rich tapestry of history and diverse inhabitants, making it a hub of activity and cultural exchange in the region. 40 years after the Dark Portal had opened, the tribe had remained in Thunder Cleft, driven by their deep commitment to healing the land. After the awakening of the Dragon Isles, Chen, Lili, and Caitlin the Blade made their way to Thunder Cleft, traveling further along the Dojani River after visiting the ruins of Dojan. The Tauren welcomed them warmly, eager to exchange stories and share their experiences with the trio. Zhu Province, located in the northeastern Krasarang Wilds, is a Pandarian-claimed territory often regarded as the gateway to the wilds of Pandaria. At its center stands Zhu Watch, a vigilant outpost that prevents wild creatures from venturing from the jungles into the Valley of the Four Winds. The town diligently maintains 3 memorial fires near the border, which help keep the beasts at bay. The province is also home to 2 ponds, now drained by Shah energies, giving rise to elemental creatures formed from the remaining water and salt. To the north lies a small, unnamed cave occupied by the wild-scale Sarok, adding to the province's diverse and dynamic landscape. Following the awakening of the Dragon Isles, Chen, Lili, and Caitlin the Blade traveled to Zhu Province following their exploration of the ruins of Ogudei. At Caitlin's request, the villagers guided them to a potential dig site. Despite their hopes, the trio discovered nothing more than an old pile of rubbish filled with rusty apothecary tins. The ancient designs and writing on the tins were indecipherable to both Chen and Lili, with Lili remarking that archaeology was not her passion. Nestled northwest of Kunlai's summit and Townlong Steppes lies the mysterious Isle of Thunder. This once mythical island is now the battleground for the newly formed Kirin Tor Offensive and the Sunreaver Onslaught, each vying for dominance. United in purpose, the Shadowpan Assault is on a relentless mission to dethrone Lei Shen at his formidable stronghold, the Throne of Thunder. Long ago, the Isle of Thunder was renowned as the Thundering Mountain, the seat of power for the mighty Mogu's master. History took a dramatic turn when Lei Shen, the Thunder King, overthrew his master and declared himself the supreme ruler of the Mogu. From this mighty throne, he governed Pandaria until his death. His successors relocated the capital to the Mogushan Palace in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, leaving the Thundering Mountain to fade into obscurity. During the Great Sundering, the mountain succumbed to the ocean's depths, with only its peak remaining visible above the waves, transforming into the island we know today. Before Lei Shen's resurrection, the Isle of Thunder was shrouded in mystery, believed by many to be nothing more than a legend. Now, the island stands as a testament to ancient power and present-day conflict, a place where legends come to life and history is made anew. Located on the northwest side of the Isle of Thunder is the Beast Pens. They serve as a formidable Zandalari troll camp. Here, the Zandalari meticulously raise and train a menagerie of fierce creatures, including raptors, direhorns, devilsaurs, and even saurid, all primed for battle. Perched on the eastern side of the Isle of Thunder is a formidable Zandalari troll camp named Conqueror's Terrace. This is where the Zandalari harness their powerful magic to create golems and other mystical constructs. The Thunder Forges are situated northwest of the Bloodied Crossing, at the northern tip of the Isle of Thunder. This ancient site lies near the entrance to the Lightning Vein Mine to the northwest and the Beast Pens to the southwest. Built atop ancient Titan machinery, the forge was powered for millennia by the legendary artifacts, the Fist of Ra-Den and the High Keeper's Ward. These relics were eventually recovered by Master Snowdrift and the Shadowpan, who entrusted them to Zhu. When young Lei Shen reached maturity and took command of his own legions, he boldly declared his intention to awaken the gods. Only his most devoted followers dared accompany him into the heart of the Thundering Mountain, the sacred home of the Mogu's revered master. There, he made a startling discovery. Ra-Den, the Titanic Watcher, stood guard over the engine of Nalak Shah, a powerful Titan device. Lei Shen asserted dominion over both, an act that would forever change his destiny. It is said that Lei Shen tore out the very heart of the Mogu god, an act of sheer defiance and ambition. From this brutal deed, he gained control over the wind and storm, transforming himself into the Thunder King. Lei Shen declared the Thundering Mountain as his seat of power and constructed a majestic and forbidden city atop its summit. After the Thunder King's death, the new emperor Dojan Firecrown relocated the empire's capital from the desolate Throne of Thunder to the fertile Vale of Eternal Blossoms, establishing the Grand Mogushan Palace as the new center of power. Jinrock, a stalwart figure from the Zandalar tribe, once embarked on a perilous mission deep into the heart of Stranglethorn Vale. His purpose was to thwart the sinister Hakar the Soulflare from unleashing chaos upon the world by escaping from the ancient city of Zul'Gurub. Known to adventurers as a level 60 quest giver, Jinrock held a pivotal role within his tribe. Warriors and paladins who sought to prove their might could bring him paragons of power, and in return, he bestowed upon them exquisite armor, crafted with the tribe's ancient knowledge and skill. His presence was a beacon of hope in a land teetering on the brink of darkness. Following the defeat of Hakar, Jinrock and his fellow trolls departed Yojamba Isle, returning to their homeland of Zandalar. However, their respite was short-lived, as the cataclysm ravaged their lands, forcing them to once again venture into the world. Driven by a desire to reunite the scattered tribes and restore their people's former glory, Jinrock and those devoted to the Zol cause journeyed across the mainlands, eventually finding their way to the mysterious continent of Pandaria. When the Thunder King rose from his ancient slumber, he bestowed unimaginable power upon the most loyal and ambitious of the Zandalari trolls. Jinrock was among the first to receive the Thunder King's potent blessings. Though the overwhelming surge of Lei Shen's gifts nearly shattered his body, Jinrock emerged as a formidable force, now able to harness the very fury of the storm itself in battle. His transformation marked him a living embodiment of the storm's wrath, forever changed by the power he sought. The Zandalari arrived on the Isle of Thunder with a fearsome arsenal of powerful creatures, ready to unleash them as engines of war. Under the command of the formidable war god Jalak, the Dinomancers of the Zandalari Beastward wielded ancient tribal magics, imbuing these mighty beasts with enhanced strength and unwavering loyalty. Among these legendary creatures was Horadon, Jalak's own fabled mount, whose massive horns could rend stone fortifications with the effortless precision of a blade slicing through silk. With such creatures at their command, the Zandalari were a force to be reckoned with. their ancient powers and primal beasts making them nearly unstoppable in battle. The long and tumultuous history of the troll tribes, the Drakari, Faraki, Amani, and Gurubashi, has been marked by countless betrayals and ceaseless conflict. Yet in the shadow of these ancient rivalries, the Zandalari have emerged with a bold vision: the creation of an unstoppable empire. This promise of a powerful new order has finally succeeded where centuries of bloodshed could not, uniting the once separate troll leaders under a single banner. The tribes, long divided by strife, now stand together, driven by the shared dream of reclaiming their lost glory. Over the millennia, traces of the Mogu's flesh-shaping magic slowly seeped into the depths beneath the Thunder King's citadel. These dark energies twisted the natural order, warping one of the native dragon turtles within the cavern, fusing it with the crystalline walls surrounding it. This formidable creature, now known as Tortos, became an extraordinary fusion of flesh and stone. Sustained by the cave's abundant mineral deposits, Tortos has grown to a colossal size, a living testament to the power of the ancient magic that transformed it. Even the most hardened Mogu tremble at the mere mention of the dark experiments carried out under the Thunder King's command. Ages ago, a young cloud serpent was subjected to a gruesome transformation, twisted into a fearsome multi-headed hydra and abandoned beneath Lei Shen's throne. This tortured creature now dwells in the shadows of the forgotten depths, biding its time, eager to unleash the torment it has endured upon any who dare cross its path. Its very existence is a haunting reminder of the horrors woven into the Thunder King's legacy. In the dark depths beneath Lei Shen's keep, the Mogu flesh shapers cast aside their failed experiments, discarding them into an abyssal shaft where decay reigned. The stench of death drew countless scavengers to this forsaken pit, but none proved as merciless or cunning as the mighty Jakun. This monstrous bird, driven by primal instincts, systematically hunted down her rivals, devouring them one by one until she alone claimed dominion over the shadowy tunnel. Now, Jakun rules the abyss, a fearsome predator born of the Mogu's cruel abandon. At Lei Shen's command, his sorcerers crafted an abomination with a singular purpose: to gaze into the hearts of his followers and unearth any trace of betrayal. From this dark decree, Darumu was born. This cunning entity served its masters with unwavering loyalty until the Thunder King's fall. In the wake of Lei Shen's death, Darumu vanished into the maze-like corridors of the citadel, becoming little more than a ghost in the shadows. For years, the Mogu all but forgot the existence of their creation, until now. Darumu has re-emerged from its hidden lair, a lurking specter from a bygone era, ready to fulfill its sinister purpose once more. In the shadowy depths of Lei Shen's island citadel, the Mogu flesh shapers crafted the Sarok. Born from a mysterious and arcane substance of unknown origin, these creatures, forged in secrecy, were intended as instruments of power. Yet, when the citadel was eventually abandoned, not all of these experiments were reclaimed. Some were left to fester in the dark, forgotten pools where they languished for far too long, their fate intertwined with the lingering magic that had once brought them to life. Under the directive of the Thunder King, Arch-Ritualist Kelada crafted the Dark Animus, a masterpiece designed to be the ultimate vessel for harnessing the immense power of anima. This construct is not only magnificent in its design, but also sentient, embodying a lethal intelligence that makes it as dangerous as it is awe-inspiring. The Dark Animus stands as a testament to the terrifying ambition of its creators, a perfect fusion of power and purpose. Legends tell of the ruthless prowess of Quan and his formidable Quillen champions. Known for his unwavering determination and unmatched ferocity, Quan earned the title Iron Quan from the Thunder King himself. This fearless Mogu commander became a symbol of relentless conquest, driven by an unyielding resolve to secure victory after victory for the Empire, no matter the price. The Twin Empyreans stand as two of the Thunder King's most formidable champions, fiercely loyal and unmatched in power. They are entrusted with the protection of Lei Shen's reign. Ever vigilant, the Thunder King keeps these loyal guardians by his side, their combined might ready to crush any who dare challenge his rule. In the chaotic era known as the Age of 100 Kings, Lei Shen, the young son of a formidable warlord, came into the world. Growing up within the same tribe, he formed a bond with Sparkmancer Vu that was as deep as brotherhood. Together, they engaged in playful skirmishes, fierce quarrels, and endless challenges, each encounter sharpening Lei Shen's insatiable hunger for power. Witnessing the internal strife and endless bickering among the Mogu, Lei Shen saw it as a waste of their grand potential. Yet he remained steadfastly loyal to his father. This loyalty was shattered when a trusted advisor betrayed and murdered his father, leading to the disintegration of their clan. Most members fled to seek protection under other warlords, leaving Lei Shen with only a small group of faithful guards. Instead of continuing the relentless battles, the young Mogu chose a path of solitude and reflection. He wandered the land in exile, meditating deeply on his experiences. His introspective journey was largely dismissed by other Mogu, who saw his withdrawal as a sign of madness and believed he would never again pose a threat to their kind. Like his brethren, Lei Shen possessed formidable strength and mastery of warfare. However, unlike his contemporaries, his ambitions extended beyond mere conquest. The legends of his ancestors were indelibly inscribed upon his heart. Upon reaching adulthood and commanding his own legions, Lei Shen declared his audacious intent to awaken the gods. Years of relentless searching finally led the warlord to the concealed vaults beneath the northern reaches of the Veil of Eternal Blossoms. Within those hidden depths, Lei Shen discovered a revelation: the Titanic Watcher Ra, standing sentinel over an immensely powerful Titan device known as the Engine of Nalak Shah. The Highkeeper remained impassive as Lei Shen stood before him, bombarding him with questions about the purpose of the Mogu. Weeks turned into months, and Lei Shen's frustrations mounted. Yet Ra remained silent. It dawned on Lei Shen that the Highkeeper wasn't mulling over a grand scheme, but had simply abandoned hope. Enraged, Lei Shen confronted Ra, accusing him of forsaking the Titan's work. These harsh accusations jolted Ra from his stupor, prompting him to lead Lei Shen to the nearby Thundering Mountain. There, Ra invoked the lingering spirit of Aman'Thul, High Father of the Pantheon. The revelation of the Pantheon's demise did not plunge Lei Shen into despair as it had Ra. Instead, it ignited a fierce determination within him. If the Pantheon was truly dead, and their servant refused to continue their work, Lei Shen resolved to take on their mantle himself. Without warning, Lei Shen incapacitated Ra, bound him in formidable chains, and seized not only the Keeper's power, but also the essence of Aman'Thul. It is said that Lei Shen tore out the very heart of the Mogu god, and from this act of sheer defiance, he gained dominion over wind and storm. His followers fell to their knees before him, overwhelmed by his newfound might. "We will call you the Lightning King," they proclaimed. But Lei Shen shook his head. "Lightning strikes in an instant and vanishes just as quickly," he replied. "But thunder announces the storm's arrival. Thunder shakes the skies long before the lightning flashes, and its echoes linger in the hills long after the lightning's power fades. It is thunder that drives animals to their dens and fills peasants' hearts with dread. Let thunder be my herald, so that my true power reverberates across the land. I will be the Thunder King." With this declaration, he claimed the Thundering Mountain as his throne, and atop its peak, he constructed a majestic and forbidden city, a testament to his enduring power. Armed with the power of storms, Lei Shen, now revered as the Thunder King, rallied his followers and ascended to power in true Mogu fashion, eliminating his rivals one by one. Few submitted to his authority willingly. The fortunate ones met swift deaths, either vaporized by lightning or crushed beneath his ever-growing legions. The less fortunate ones were dragged away in chains, broken only when he decreed it so. Yet amidst the carnage, many Mogu saw in Lei Shen a long-lost unity of purpose that had been absent since their masters fell silent. Drawn to this vision, they flocked to the Thunder King's banner, eagerly serving him as he enslaved the other races. Lei Shen and those who followed him believed that the lesser races were destined to serve the Mogu, just as the Mogu had once served their ancient masters. With unwavering conviction and the power to back it, Lei Shen crowned himself Emperor of all Mogu, and all who lived within his domain, solidifying his reign as the Thunder King. The Thunder King regarded all living beings within his domain as his servants and set his sights on conquering the two great empires of the Jinyu and Hosen, who had settled around the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. Despite the valiant efforts of the Jinyu, they ultimately fell before Lei Shen's overwhelming might. In one decisive battle, the Mogu warrior Hakin secured victory by turning the Jinyu water speaker's own spears against them. Impressed by this feat, the Thunder King rewarded Hakin with 100 finely crafted golden spears, forged by the skilled hands of Mogu forge masters. This act elevated Hakin to the rank of one of Lei Shen's most trusted lieutenants. On the eve of the Jinyu's final stand against Lei Shen, their supposed allies, the Hosen, betrayed them. The Hosen had pledged their loyalty to the Thunder King, misguidedly believing that they would receive special treatment under his rule, a promise that Lei Shen and his successors never intended to keep. With this betrayal, Lei Shen easily conquered both races, solidifying his domain over the region. When the Thunder King sought slaves to construct the grand cities and impregnable fortresses of his empire, he sought his sights on Kunlai Summit. Confronted by a defiant populace, Lei Shen issued a bold proclamation. If any warrior could defeat him in single combat, he would leave their lands in peace. However, if he emerged victorious, the people would submit to his rule. The challenge was taken up by Zhu, the White Tiger, who could no longer bear to witness the suffering of the free peoples. For 30 days and 30 nights, these legendary figures clashed, their battles shaking the very earth and splitting the skies with lightning. In the end, Zhu succumbed to Lei Shen's otherworldly power. "Your peasant magic is no match for my sorcery, fool of a tiger," Lei Shen bellowed. "I commend your tenacity, but your defiance must be punished." Turning to the people of Kunlai, the Thunder King declared, "Know this. Those who defy me shall witness the full extent of my wrath. This creature shall not know the mercy of death. In these mountains we shall construct a prison for him to stand upon for all of time. From this pinnacle he shall watch and bask in his failure, as you and your children serve my empire as slaves." With this decree, Lei Shen solidified his domain over Kunlai Summit, ensuring the subjugation of its people and the eternal imprisonment of their champion. Sparkmancer Vu was the Thunder King's most trusted advisor. Despite their early rivalry, Vu fought fiercely alongside Lei Shen, helping him seize the throne of Pandaria. However, soon after Lei Shen's rise to power, the Sparkmancer was captured by enemy assassins who cruelly cut out his tongue. Popular opinion whispered that the Thunder King himself orchestrated this plot, a calculated move to silence the one Mogu who knew his deepest secrets. Their bond, shrouded in both truth and myth, became the stuff of legends. Peasant storytellers spun tales of their supposed feud over a woman, adding drama to their storied relationship. Despite the swirling rumors, history reveals that Sparkmaster Vu's loyalty never faltered. He remained steadfastly committed to his emperor, serving his friend and brother with unwavering dedication until the end of his days. After his ascension, the Thunder King constructed the Mogushan Vaults, a fortress designed to safeguard his secrets and serve as a shrine to the Mogu Empire. This grand complex became a repository for the Empire's lost artifacts and the final resting place for the spirits of ancient Mogu kings. Emperor Lei Shen achieved unprecedented unification, standardizing the language, establishing a single currency, and creating uniform weights and measures. He also introduced Azeroth's first written legal code, inscribed in the unified language. These brutal laws enshrined the Mogu's supremacy over all other beings, with the first rule decreeing that rebellion would be punished by public evisceration. Recognizing the potential threat posed by the Pandaren, the Thunder King implemented severe restrictions upon them. He forbade the Pandaren from learning to read or write, executed their leaders and philosophers, and ordered the destruction of all Pandaren art and literature. Through these harsh measures, Lei Shen sought to consolidate his dominion and suppress any potential challenge to his rule. As Lei Shen embarked on his mission to unite his people under a single banner and subjugate the other races of Pandaria, he recognized that the formidable Mantid would never submit to his rule. To protect his empire from the relentless threat, he ordered the construction of the Serpent's Spine, a colossal wall spanning the entire length of his realm. The project took many generations to complete, but Lei Shen understood that fear was a powerful motivator. The dread of the man had compelled his subjects to move mountains, raise armies, secure the empire, and build the imposing wall. Each soldier in Lei Shen's army wore a jade badge adorned with a crown and crossed with lightning bolts, a symbol of their loyalty and power. Among them, the elite warriors were known as the Emperor's Shield, a testament to their dedication and prowess in protecting the Thunder King's dominion. 170 years into Lei Shen's reign, the Karun Spellweavers presented Lei Shen with their magnum opus, a bell forged from the flesh of its creators, shaped by the fire of stars and bound by the breath of the darkest shadows. This bell, when rung, had the power to shake the world and call to the heavens. Brought to the battlefield, its thunderous tones ignited the hearts of Lei Shen's warriors, fueling their hatred and anger, and granting them unparalleled strength. The bell's piercing voice instilled fear and doubt in the Emperor's enemies, driving them to flee before his might. Captivated by its immense power, the Thunder King declared the instrument the voice of the gods, and named it Shen Qing, the Divine Bell. At one point, Lei Shen stumbled upon a rare clutch of thundering cloud serpents and set out to subjugate them. Among the hatchlings, the largest resisted fiercely. When Lei Shen visited the handling pens, he laughed heartedly at the sight of the charred mogu strewn about. Amused and impressed, he claimed the defiant hatchling as his own. In recognition of its obedience, he bestowed upon it dominion over storms and the sky. For thousands of years after the Thunder King's death, this formidable serpent Nalak has guarded the walls of his hidden citadel, awaiting the return of its master. During his reign, Lei Shen endeavored to create a mechanical guardian that would protect his citadel without fear. When his initial attempt failed, he channeled his fury into his next and most successful creation, the Dark Animus. Fueled by his rage, this construct became a formidable defender of his domain. Under Lei Shen's command, a young cloud serpent was twisted into the fearsome Hydra, Megara. He also tasked his sorcerers with crafting an aberration capable of peering into the hearts of his followers to detect betrayal, thus giving life to Durumu. Additionally, Lei Shen recognized the relentless resolve of the Mogu commander Khan, bestowing upon him the title Iron Khan, for his unwavering determination to secure victory for the Empire, regardless of the cost. Lei Shen forged a lasting alliance between the Mogu and the Zandalar tribe of trolls, led by Zalathra. This pact endured for millennia, long after Lei Shen's death. He promised the trolls a vast plot of land near the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. Distrustful of his own Mogu underlings to resurrect him if slain, Lei Shen confided the secret of his resurrection to the Zandalari trolls, ensuring their loyalty and the continuation of his legacy. Despite all his might, Lei Shen never managed to harness two artifacts he had taken from Ra, the Fist of Ra Den and the High Keeper's Ward. These powerful relics were beyond even the Thunder King's control. Each time he attempted to wield them, elemental energies lashed out, overwhelming him. His repeated failures infuriated him, yet he refused to give up. Determined to unlock their power, Lei Shen eventually entrusted the artifacts to a skilled blacksmith named Forgemaster Dang. He ordered Dang to uncover their secrets but warned him not to harness their power for himself, threatening severe consequences if he disobeyed. Dang promised to follow Lei Shen's command, but secretly plotted to use the weapons for his own gain, reasoning that if he could master them, he could seize control of the Empire. However, while tampering with the fist, Dang was struck by a bolt of lightning, leaving him permanently disfigured. Realizing the danger, he redirected his efforts, using the artifacts to power the Thunder Forge. This immense engine churned day and night, producing exponential armaments for the Mogu military. Lei Shen was pleased with Dang's work and commanded him to personally craft weapons and armor that would surpass all others. Just before his death, the Forge Master created his three greatest masterpieces: a massive spear, a battle axe, and a mighty helm, all gifted to the Thunder King. During Forge Master Dang's burial ceremony, Lei Shen honored him with these words: "Today, a star leaves the earth and ascends to the heavens." According to a Pandarian legend recounted by Loki, Lei Shen met his end after a fierce battle in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, where the Mogu armies were ultimately defeated by courageous monks. As his life waned, Lei Shen conjured an otherworldly storm that enveloped the Vale for several days. This tempest washed the blood of the fallen into a white petal lake, turning its waters a burning crimson. From this blood-soaked lake emerged Alani, the Stormborn, a testament to the Thunder King's final act of defiance and power. In truth, Lei Shen set his sights on Uldum, determined to claim its Titan machinery for his empire. Leading a formidable army of Mogu and Zandalari trolls, he marched to conquer the land. The Tol'vir, aware they couldn't defeat him in open combat, resorted to a desperate measure. They activated the Forge of Origination, unleashing a cataclysmic force that scoured the surrounding land, annihilating Lei Shen, his entire army, Zalathra, and most of the Zandalari leadership, a blow from which the trolls never fully recovered. Though the Thunder King was dead, his fall came at a tremendous cost. The devastating power of the Forge snuffed out all life in the area, including many Tol'vir, transforming Uldum into a cracked, lifeless desert. The loyalists who survived recovered Lei Shen's body and entombed him in the Tomb of Conquerors, sealing the legacy of the Thunder King with a desolate reminder of his final ambitious conquest. Years after the Thunder King's death, as the Zandalari troll wars neared their end, the leader of the invading Zandalari armies, Mengazi, a descendant of Zalathra, realized the trolls were losing to the Pandaren and their formidable Cloud Serpent riders. Desperate to turn the tide, Mengazi sought to fulfill an ancient prophecy by resurrecting Lei Shen. A fierce battle erupted at the Tomb of Conquerors. The trolls' efforts to bring Lei Shen back to life were thwarted when Jiang heroically sacrificed herself to kill Mengazi. With their leader gone and their plan in ruins, the Zandalari retreated back to Zandalar, their hopes of revival dashed. The Zandalari, along with their allied troll tribes, rekindled their ancient alliance with the Mogu and discovered Emperor Lei Shen's body entombed within the Valley of Emperors, resting alongside his loyal army in the Tomb of Conquerors. The trolls transported his remains to the Isle of Reckoning, where Prophet Karzul successfully resurrected the Thunder King. Upon his arrival, the Thunder King returned to his island stronghold. He swiftly united the majority of the Mogu clans and the Zandalari under his rule, assembling a formidable army poised to conquer Pandaria. However, his resurgence was met with fierce resistance from the Shadowpan Assault, the Kirin Tor Offensive, and the Sunreaver Onslaught, setting the stage for an epic conflict. Lei Shen bestowed power beyond their wildest dreams upon the most loyal and ambitious Zandalari trolls. Among the first to receive the king's blessing was the Berserker, Jinrock, who was transformed by the Thunder King's favor. Following his resurrection by the Zandalari, Warlord Cao, one of Lei Shen's old lieutenants, journeyed to the Throne of Thunder to meet with the Emperor. The Thunder King assured Cao that he could slaughter as many Pandaren as he wished, declaring them flawed beings that needed to be eradicated. In their place, the Mogu would create new, superior servants, paving the way for an even more formidable empire. The Thunder King's allies and legions were eventually defeated, and adventurers from both the Alliance and Horde laid siege to his stronghold. As they approached the gate to his palace, Lei Shen appeared, summoning a storm that collapsed the entrance bridge, sending the adventurers plunging into the depths below. Undeterred, they fought their way through the caves and the citadel, ultimately confronting Lei Shen at the pinnacle of storms. There, the adventurers vanquished the Thunder King. In the aftermath, Jaina Proudmoore channeled the remnants of Lei Shen's power into the Staff of Antonidas, transforming it into the Storm Stave of Antonidas. The heart of the Thunder King was delivered to Wrathion, who sought to uncover the origins and purpose of the Mogu. To ensure Lei Shen could never rise again, Wrathion consumed the heart, preventing any chance of resurrection. With their central leader gone, the surviving Mogu scattered. The Zandalari prophet Zol later applied the knowledge he gained from Lei Shen's revival to resurrect Dazar, the first king of the Zandalari, continuing the legacy of resurrection and power. Among the ranks of the Titan Forged, Ra stood as a formidable creation, crafted by the Titans themselves to combat the insidious threat of the old gods plaguing Azeroth. Highkeeper Ra, akin to Odin, was one such empowered being, bestowed with his might by Aman'Thul, the High Father of the Pantheon. Aman'Thul also entrusted Ra with a powerful artifact known as the Fist of Ra-Den. This artifact not only breathed life into the Titan-forged Mogu race, but also served as a formidable weapon in the relentless battle against the Black Empire of the Old Gods, a conflict that spanned countless ages. Following the defeat and imprisonment of the old gods beneath Azeroth's surface, the Titan Forge embarked on a crucial mission to foster the growth of Azeroth's world soul. Central to this endeavor were two mighty machines, the Forge of Wills and the Forge of Origination. Ra was entrusted with installing the Forge of Origination. He then embarked on a journey to the southern reaches of Azeroth. However, his path led him to a startling discovery: the remains of the vanquished old god Yasha-Ra, including its immense and malevolent heart. Recognizing the danger these remnants posed, Ra made a fateful decision to contain them. He established a secure underground vault to house these remains, naming it the Vault of Yasha-Ra. To safeguard this vault and the surrounding lands, Ra assigned his loyal Mogu servants to stand as its guardians, ensuring that the remnants of Yasha-Ra remained sealed and dormant for eternity. After a challenging journey, Ra and his followers finally reached their destination. They installed the Forge of Origination, a monumental task that marked the birth of the great fortress of Uldum. This fortress became the southern bastion of the Titan Forged, a testament to their strength and determination. Assigning some of his Tol'vir and Anubiseth servants to protect this newly established area, Ra continued his quest further west. There he created the formidable fortress of Ahn'Qiraj, intended to serve as a prison for the malevolent old god Cthulhu. With this monumental task completed, Ra turned his attention to overseeing the southern regions of Azeroth, a duty he would faithfully fulfill for ages to come. On a stormy day, Ra and his Mogu companions ascended a towering mountain to bid farewell to the celestial creators. The legends speak of Ra's awe-inspiring display as he struck his weapon against his shield, commanding the storm to cease and the clouds to part. Underneath their feet, the mountain itself seemed to rise higher, while lightning and fire danced across the sky, illuminating the departing titans. The winds themselves seemed to join in a sorrowful yet majestic farewell. The Mogu who directly answered to Ra became known as the Rajani, a group of loyal and powerful beings dedicated to maintaining order and protecting the lands under Ra's watchful gaze. Sometime after his monumental tasks, Ra witnessed a pivotal moment in Azeroth's history: the empowering of the primitive proto-dragons and the creation of the 5 dragonflights. Drawing upon the potent energies of his creator, Aman'Thul, the High Keeper bestowed upon the bronze dragon Nozdormu the powers to control time itself, a gift that would shape the course of history. As the Keepers diligently tended to their duties on Azeroth, a sudden and overwhelming surge of power washed over them, accompanied by a flood of fragmented memories. Perplexed by this strange occurrence, the Keepers reached out to the Pantheon for answers, seeking to understand the source and purpose of this mysterious influx. However, their inquiries were met with silence, leaving them to ponder this strange event in solitude. After an extended period of contemplation, Ra came to a startling realization. This surge of power was the final echo of the Pantheon's spirits, lingering after their demise at the hands of the traitorous Sargeras. Determined to preserve this last vestige of his creators, Ra carefully extracted the lingering power of Aman'Thul and safeguarded it in a hidden mountain vault near the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. Overwhelmed by grief and the weight of this revelation, Ra made a solemn decision. He retreated into the depths of the catacombs beneath the land, relinquishing his role as the protector of the planet. With a heavy heart, he left his Titan-forged servants to carry on their work without him, as he sought solace and understanding in solitude. For ages, the loyal Mogu served their master, Ra Den, faithfully. Ra Den means Master Ra in the Mogu tongue, even as his voice fell strangely silent. However, their steadfast allegiance was tested when the curse of flesh struck, transforming their once stony beings into flesh and blood. As the Mogu grappled with their newfound forms, internal strife began to plague their ranks, yet Ra Den remained silent, offering no guidance. In the tumultuous era known as the Age of 100 Kings, a charismatic Mogu warlord named Lei Shen emerged, declaring his intention to awaken the gods. Lei Shen rallied his most loyal followers and ventured into the heart of the Thundering Mountain, where Ra Den dwelt in seclusion. Deep within the mountain's caverns, Lei Shen made a profound discovery: the towering figure of Ra Den, guarding a powerful Titan artifact known as the Engine of Nalak Shah. This encounter would set into motion a series of events that would forever change the fate of the Mogu and Azeroth itself. The arrival of Lei Shen, the Thunder King, brought no visible reaction from the silent High Keeper Ra Den, even as the Mogu bombarded him with questions about their purpose. Days turned into weeks, and Lei Shen's frustration mounted as Ra remained unresponsive. It became apparent to the Mogu that Ra's silence was not a sign of contemplation, but rather a reflection of his despondence, his hope lost. In a fit of rage, Lei Shen accused Ra for forsaking the Titan's mission, hurling accusations of abandonment. These words jolted Ra from his desolate state, prompting him to reveal to the Mogu the repository where he had safeguarded the last remains of Aman'Thul's essence. The revelation that the Titans were no more did not crush Lei Shen's spirit as it had Ra's. Instead, the ambitious warlord resolved to take matters into his own hands, seeing an opportunity to seize power and continue the work of the Titans himself. Without warning, Lei Shen subdued Ra, binding the Highkeeper in chains and stealing both his power and the essence of Aman'Thul, though he was unable to harness Ra's 2 artifacts. With his newfound might, Lei Shen declared himself the Thunder King, and imposed his tyrannical rule over Pandaria until his eventual demise. Meanwhile, Ra-Den was imprisoned in a hidden cell beneath the Throne of Thunder, forced to witness the consequence of his silence and the rise of a new era of tyranny. After eons of imprisonment beneath the Throne of Thunder, Ra-Den was discovered by daring adventurers. Millennia of confinement and torment had shattered his spirit, leading him to a grim realization. Azeroth had become irreversibly tainted, its corruption beyond redemption. In his despair, Ra-Den concluded the only solution was annihilation. However, the adventurers intervened, offering Ra-Den a glimmer of hope for the world's future. Though he harbored doubts about mortals' ability to thwart the encroaching darkness, he acknowledged their tenacity and resolve. They had, in his eyes, earned the right to stand against the looming threat. With a final flash of lightning, Ra-Den disappeared, his whereabouts unknown for years to come. After emerging from the confines of the Throne of Thunder, Ra-Den sought solace in the silent sanctuary nestled within the Veil of Eternal Blossoms. Accompanied by his loyal Mogu servants, the Rajani, the Highkeeper remained secluded, contemplating the world's fate. As the awakening of the old god N'Zoth sent tremors through Azeroth, adventurers and speaker Magni sought Ra-Den's aid. They hoped to wield the power of the engine of Nalak-Shah, housed within the Forge of Origination, as a weapon against the encroaching darkness. However, Ra-Den grimly asserted that the looming threat surpassed even the might of Azeroth's champions. He recalled the ancient conflict against the Black Empire, where all the Keepers had united to emerge victorious. In an effort to sway Ra-Den, Stormkeeper Qion of the Rajani dispatched adventurers to secure a trophy from one of the Veil's besieged generals. This act was intended to demonstrate the urgency of the situation. Ra-Den, though acknowledging the valor displayed, remained cynical, noting the sheer number of Azeroth's foes and the inevitable tipping of the world's balance against it. Yet recognizing his past errors, he conceded that mortals had surprised him before. Deciding to offer the champions a chance to defy his expectations once more, Ra-Den revealed that the engine of Nalak-Shah lay within the Mogushan vaults. This revelation opened the path for the champions to reactivate the ancient structure, a beacon of hope amidst encroaching darkness. With newfound hope ignited within him, Ra-Den entrusted the defense of the engine of Nalak-Shah to the Rajani, and joined the adventurers on a journey to the Chamber of Heart. There, he aided in their quest to restore the Forge of Origination, a crucial step in preparing Azeroth for the looming threat of N'Zoth. As the adventurers ventured into the twisted realms of N'Zoth's horrific visions, they returned to find the Chamber of Heart under siege. N'Zoth's forces had launched a direct assault, seeking to corrupt the facility and its powerful artifacts. Ra-Den valiantly fought alongside the defenders, but as the tide turned in N'Zoth's favor, he turned to the adventurers, urging them to protect Azeroth at any cost. With a steadfast determination, Ra-Den unleashed a devastating lightning attack, aimed at sealing the portal to Ny'alotha. His sacrifice was swift and selfless as he hurled himself into the portal, ensuring its destruction even as he was pulled into the realm of the old god. Magni later reflected that without Ra-Den's sacrifice, N'Zoth would have seized control of the Chamber of Heart and potentially all of Azeroth. Ra-Den's sacrifice stood as a testament to his unwavering dedication to safeguarding the world. Immersed in the nightmarish depths of Ny'alotha, Ra-Den's lingering despair consumed the flicker of hope that had sustained him. The insidious whispers of N'Zoth twisted his noble spirit, transforming him into a malevolent servant of the old god. As his corruption deepened, Ra-Den's once virtuous essence became unrecognizable. His eventual confrontation and defeat atop the Terrace of Desolation by Azeroth's champions marked a tragic end to his noble legacy, leaving Magni and others mourning the loss of a once great defender of the world. And that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you made it this far, thank you. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.